We live in an era that worships support. Scroll through your feed. You see the startup founder who raised millions before writing a single line of code. You see the artist who got the shout out from the celebrity. You see the son who inherited the empire. And you sit in an empty room. You look at your bank account. You look at your contacts list, and you see 0. You feel a burning, acidic envy in your gut. You ask the universe, why not me? Why is my road so hard? Why won't anyone help me? Niccolò Machiavelli has an answer for you, but it is not the answer you want. It is the answer you need. He would tell you that your envy is misplaced. He would tell you that those lucky people you idolize are actually cursed. And you, in your isolation, in your struggle, with your 0 support, you are the one who has been blessed. In Chapter 6 of The Prince, Machiavelli draws a line in the sand that divides all human success into 2 categories. On one side, there are those who acquire power through fortune, meaning luck, the money of others, the favor of powerful friends, or inheritance. On the other side, there are those who acquire power through virtù, meaning their own ability, their own struggle, and their own arms. Machiavelli warns us, those who rise from private citizens to be princes merely by fortune do so with little exertion, but they maintain their position with much trouble. Think about what this means. The man with support is like a man who is airlifted to the top of Mount Everest by a helicopter. He arrives in minutes. He is fresh, he is smiling, he takes a selfie at the summit. But he has not acclimated to the altitude. He does not know the terrain. He has not developed the muscles, the lungs, or the callus required to survive there. The moment the helicopter leaves, the moment the support vanishes, he begins to die. The first storm that rolls in will blow him off the peak because he has no anchor. He stands on a foundation of air. Now, look at yourself. You are climbing the mountain from the bottom. You are doing it with your bare hands. Your fingernails are bleeding. Your lungs are burning. You are cold, and you are alone. You look up at the helicopter, and you wish you were on it. But Machiavelli is grabbing your shoulder and screaming, "No!" because every inch you climb is transforming you. The struggle is not an obstacle. The struggle is the forge. By the time you reach that summit, if you survive the climb, you will be a different species than the man who took the helicopter. You will know every crevice of the rock. You will have lungs of steel. You will have a mind that is immune to panic. When the storm comes, you will not be blown away. You will hunker down. You will survive. Because you belong there. This is the paradox of power. Ease at the start guarantees ruin at the end. Struggle at the start guarantees security at the end. You are crying because you have 0 support. You should be celebrating. Nature is refusing to handicap you with help. Nature is refusing to give you the golden crutch. When you have investors, you have masters. When you have a boss who favors you, you have a leash. When you have a safety net, you never learn how to fly. The history of the world is the graveyard of people who relied on support. Cesare Borgia, the man Machiavelli observed closely, had the ultimate support. His father was the Pope. He had the armies of the Church. He had the money of Rome. He conquered Italy in a lightning campaign. He was feared. He was magnificent. But the day his father died, the support vanished. And Cesare, despite all his brilliance, crumbled within months. He had built a castle on someone else's land. You are building on your own land. It is slow, it is painful, it is lonely, but it is yours. In this series, we are going to dissect the strategy of the armed prophet. We are going to learn how to build an empire when the world gives you nothing but silence. We will not ask for help. We will not look for a savior. We will look in the mirror. The lesson of chapter 6 is simple. He who relies least on fortune is the strongest. So, wipe the tears from your eyes. Stop looking for a hand to pull you up. The fact that you are alone is the proof that you are being prepared for something real. Welcome to the path of the armed prophet. The armed prophet. Niccolò Machiavelli is often misunderstood as a teacher of evil. He is not. He is a teacher of reality. And the coldest reality he ever wrote down is found in the same chapter, chapter 6. He writes, "From this it arises that all the armed prophets conquered, and the unarmed ones were ruined." This is the central dogma of succeeding with zero support. You must understand what it means to be an armed prophet. Most people who start with nothing behave like unarmed prophets. They have a vision, they have a dream, they have a brilliant idea that they believe will change the world, or at least change their bank account. But how do they try to achieve it? They try to achieve it through persuasion. They try to achieve it through prayer. They try to achieve it by relying on the goodwill of the crowd. The unarmed prophet walks into the investor's office and begs. He walks into the boss's office and hopes. He posts content online and prays the algorithm will be kind. His entire strategy is based on the belief that if he is good enough or passionate enough, the world will support him. Machiavelli looks at this man with pity. He notes that the nature of people is fickle. It is easy to persuade them of a thing, but difficult to keep them in that persuasion. People are volatile. The friend who promised to help you starts ghosting you when the work gets hard. The partner who said, "We are in this together," quits when the money runs out. The audience that cheered for you yesterday gets bored and scrolls past you today. If you are unarmed, if you have no leverage, no resources, and no power of your own, then the moment the crowd stops believing in you, you are finished. You cannot make them stay. You are destroyed. Now, look at the armed prophet. When Machiavelli speaks of arms, he is not strictly talking about swords and guns. In the modern world, your arms are your leverage. Your arms are the skills you possess that no one else can replicate. Your arms are the capital you have saved, the audience you own directly, the product that works without permission. The armed prophet does not ask for respect. He commands it. He does not beg for cooperation. He necessitates it. Think of the difference between an employee who begs for a raise because he has worked hard and the consultant who walks away because he knows 3 other companies are bidding for his services. The employee is unarmed. He relies on the mercy of the master. The consultant is armed. He relies on the leverage of the market. To succeed with zero support, you must stop spending your energy trying to find people to help you. Instead, spend that energy building your armory. If you are a coder, your code is your weapon. If you are a writer, your words are your weapon. If you are a businessman, your cash flow is your weapon. The goal is to reach a point where you do not need them, but they need you. This is the shift in mindset that separates the dreamers from the conquerors. The dreamer thinks, "I need a network to succeed." The conqueror thinks, "I will become so competent, that the network will form around me. Machiavelli tells us that Moses, Cyrus, Romulus, and Theseus could not have made their people observe their constitutions for long if they had been unarmed. They succeeded because when the people no longer believed, they could force them to believe. You must build a foundation so strong that even when the world turns against you, even when the trends change, even when the luck runs out, you remain standing. You must be dangerous enough to be ignored. Do not walk into the arena with just a prayer. Walk in with leverage. Stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be necessary. The unarmed prophet is a victim in waiting. The armed prophet is a king in training. The danger of innovation. You have decided to walk the path of the armed prophet. You have decided to rely on yourself. Now, you must understand the terrain you are about to cross. It is not a flat road. It is a minefield. In Chapter 6, Machiavelli writes one of the most terrifying sentences in political literature. There is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. Why is it so dangerous? Why is the world so hostile to the man who starts from zero? Machiavelli explains the mathematics of resistance. When you try to build something new, a new business, a new body, a new life, you automatically create two groups of people. The first group are your enemies. These are the people who profit from the old system. These are the people who benefit from you being weak, poor, or obedient. If you change, they lose. If you succeed, their mediocrity is exposed. They will attack you. They will attack you with the zeal of partisans. They will mock your efforts, sabotage your work, and whisper against you in the hallways. They are motivated by fear and loss, which makes them dangerous. The second group are your defenders, the people who might benefit if you succeed, your potential customers, your potential partners, your friends. You expect them to fight for you. You expect them to cheer you on. But they do not. Machiavelli calls them lukewarm defenders. They support you with hesitation. They support you with skepticism. Why? Because, as Machiavelli observes, men do not truly believe in new things until they have had actual experience of them. This is the curse of zero support. The people who hate you will attack you with fire and passion. The people who should love you will watch you with cold indifference. You are caught in the middle. You are fighting a war on two fronts with no army. When you launch that project, the silence will be deafening. No one will clap. No one will validate you. In fact, the only noise you will hear is the criticism of those who want you to fail. Most men quit here. They cannot handle the asymmetry. They cannot handle the fact that the hate is loud and the love is silent. They crave validation like oxygen, and when the validation does not come, they suffocate. To survive this phase, you must become immune to the silence. You must understand that skepticism is the default state of human nature. You cannot talk them into believing in you. You cannot beg them into supporting you. You must force them to believe by surviving long enough to win. You must drag your vision into reality, kicking and screaming, until it is so undeniable that even your enemies have to acknowledge it. Do not look for applause in the beginning. If you are truly innovating, if you are truly building a new order, the only thing you should expect is resistance. The applause comes at the end, usually from the same people who tried to stop you. The trap of borrowed armor. The most seductive temptation you will face on your journey is not the urge to quit. It is the urge to accept the wrong kind of help. When you are struggling, when you are small, and when you are facing a giant obstacle, you will pray for a savior. You will look at the powerful people around you and think, if only they would lend me their power, I would be safe. Machiavelli warns us that this is a fatal error. He dedicates chapter 13 to auxiliary soldiers, troops that you borrow from a powerful neighbor to fight your battles. He calls them the most dangerous kind of arms. He writes, "If they lose, you are defeated. If they win, you remain their prisoner." To illustrate this, Machiavelli retells a story from the Old Testament, the story of David and Goliath. When David, a small shepherd boy, volunteered to fight the giant Goliath, King Saul offered him his own royal armor. It was the best armor in the kingdom. It was golden, heavy, and impenetrable. It looked like support. It looked like an advantage. David put it on. But the moment he did, he realized he was trapped. He could not move freely. The armor was built for a king, not for a shepherd. It weighed him down. David made the most critical decision of his life. He took the armor off. He rejected the king's help. He said, "I cannot walk with these." He went out to face the giant with nothing but his own sling and a knife. This is the metaphor for your life. When you rely on borrowed armor, your father's money, a powerful cosigner, a viral shout-out from a celebrity, or the resources of a massive corporation, you think you are being protected, but you are actually being weighed down. Borrowed armor restricts your movement. It forces you to fight in a style that is not yours. If you build a business entirely on someone else's platform, you are wearing their armor. The moment they change the algorithm, you are crushed by the weight of the steel. If you get a job because of nepotism, you are wearing your father's armor. Everyone knows it doesn't fit you. You walk into the room and they respect the armor, not the man inside it. You are an imposter in your own skin. And worst of all, if you win with borrowed armor, the victory does not belong to you. You become a debtor to the owner of the armor. You are not a conqueror. You are a pet. Machiavelli concludes that arms of others either fall from your back, or they weigh you down, or they bind you fast. To succeed with zero support, you must have the courage to stand naked before the giant. You must have the courage to say, "I do not want your help if it costs me my autonomy." It is better to fight with a simple sling that you know how to use than to fight with a golden sword that you cannot lift. Your skills might be small right now. Your resources might be pathetic, but they are yours. You control them. You understand them. And because they are yours, they can grow. Do not trade your freedom for safety. Do not trade your agility for prestige. Strip off the borrowed armor. Pick up your own stone and take the shot. The Great Purge. You have rejected the easy path. You have taken off the borrowed armor. You are standing alone in the arena. Now, the real work begins. Before you can build your empire, you must first destroy the one that enslaves you. Machiavelli gives us a final, crucial example in chapter 6, Hero of Syracuse. Hero was not a mythical figure like Moses or Romulus. He was a regular man, a private citizen, who rose to become king entirely through his own merit. How did he do it? Machiavelli writes one specific sentence that contains the blueprint for your transformation. He abolished the old militia and established a new one. He dissolved old friendships and formed new ones. Read that again. He dissolved old friendships. To succeed with zero support, you must undergo the Great Purge. You cannot climb a mountain while dragging a corpse behind you. And right now, your life is full of corpses. The old militia represents your old habits, your old routine, and your old environment. It is the version of you that was comfortable with being average. It is the version of you that needed validation. That militia is useless for the war you are about to fight. You must disband it. But the harder part is the second half, dissolving old friendships. This is where the zero support philosophy becomes painful. If you look around you, you will see people who knew you when. They know the old you. They are comfortable with the old you. When you start building your own arms, when you start working 14 hours a day, when you stop drinking on weekends, when you become obsessed with your vision, these people will try to pull you back. They will not do it out of malice. They will do it out of love. They will say, "You've changed." They will say, "You work too hard." They will say, "Come back to the herd. It's safe here." You must have the coldness to cut the rope. You cannot become a prince while surrounded by peasants who are content with their mud. Their mindset is contagious. If you keep them close, you will be infected by their mediocrity. Hiro understood that to build a new life, he had to completely replace his social architecture. He had to find new allies who understood his mission, or he had to stand alone until he did. This period of your life is called the desert. It is the time between the destruction of the old and the creation of the new. You have fired your old friends, but you haven't made new ones yet. You have quit your old bad habits, but your new skills haven't paid off yet. You are walking through a wasteland. It is silent. It is empty. It is terrifying. This is where 99% of people turn back. They cannot handle the silence. They run back to the old friends and the old armor because the loneliness feels like death. But you must keep walking. Because in this silence, you are building your new militia. Every book you read is a new soldier. Every hour of deep work is a new fortification. Every rep in the gym, every line of code, every dollar saved is a weapon that belongs only to you. Machiavelli tells us that because Hiro created his own soldiers and his own allies, he could build on such a foundation any edifice he wished. That is the promise. If you survive the purge, if you survive the desert, and if you build your own foundation, there is no limit to what you can build on top of it. A skyscraper cannot stand on a swamp. You are draining the swamp. It smells. It is ugly work. But once the ground is solid, you will be untouchable. Do not fear the loss of people. Do not fear the loss of comfort. You are trimming the dead branches so the tree can grow. Let them go. Let the old self die. Build your militia. In the final part, we will discuss the result of this suffering, the fortress of the self. The fortress of the self. So, here we are at the summit. You have climbed the mountain with bleeding hands. You have rejected the borrowed armor. You have dissolved your old friendships and built your own militia. You have endured the silence of the desert. What is the reward? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it the applause of the crowd that ignored you? No, those are cheap byproducts. The true reward is something far more valuable: absolute security. Machiavelli writes, "Those who rely on their own strength and virtue Although they acquire their principality with difficulty, hold it with ease. This is the final paradox. The person who had zero support at the beginning has zero anxiety at the end. Think about the man who was carried to the top by investors, by a boss, or by lucky trends. He lives in constant terror. He knows deep down that he is a fraud. He knows that if the market shifts, or if his patron changes his mind, he will fall. He sleeps with one eye open. He is a king, but he is a nervous king. But you sleep like a baby. You know exactly how you built this empire. You know every brick because you laid it yourself. If the market crashes, you are not afraid because you know how to rebuild. If your team leaves, you are not afraid because you know how to do the work yourself. If the world tries to cancel you, you are not afraid because you never asked for their permission to exist in the first place. You have built a fortress of the self. Your power is no longer external. It is internal. It is woven into your character. It is in your voice, your walk, and your gaze. You have become anti-fragile. The world can strip you of your money, your title, and your status, but it cannot strip you of your virtù. That is yours forever. So do not envy the lucky ones. Do not envy the ones who have the wind at their backs. Pity them. They are building sandcastles near the tide. You are building a fortress on the rock. The next time you find yourself in a dark room, feeling the crushing weight of loneliness, feeling the panic of having zero support, stop, take a breath, and realize that this is not a punishment. This is an initiation. Fate has cleared the room so that you can meet the only person who can actually save you: yourself. The lesson is over. The war begins now. Go conquer.